So the question a lot of people are asking today, and no one wants to answer, especially if they have a mainstream media job, is what is the Nation of Islam, as it was clearly the inspiration for the most recent terrorist attack on Capitol Hill. Now, you've been told that if you don't care about the sanctity of the Capitol and the police at Capitol Hill, you are a white supremacist if you're not taking that seriously, until a Capitol Hill police officer was killed by a black member of the Nation of Islam. Now, a lot of people will want to then tie this to radical Islam, right? And I'm going to sort of defend Islam here from the much crazier thing called the Nation of Islam. So the terrorist attack in Colorado, where the guy went to go looks like target a bunch of Jews at a store that sold kosher food on Passover, that looks like your classic Islamist terrorist attack. Maybe there's some leftism thrown in. However, this one from the Nation of Islam is going to be pretty hard to pin on Islamic teaching because the Nation of Islam is sort of a crazy cult. Now, no shade to the Mormons here, but just how Mormonism isn't really Christianity, it's an offshoot of Christianity, right? I'd say the Nation of Islam isn't actually Islam, it'd be an offshoot. They don't believe the same things. A lot of the central doctrine of the Nation of Islam directly contradicts Islamic doctrine. For example, the number one thing is a lot of people know about Islam that Muhammad is the final prophet. Came down, he's like, I'm the final prophet, no more prophets after me. Everything I say is the Quran is the last thing anyone needs to hear. We've learned everything circa the year 700. Everything we've discovered in the last 1,300 years, inferior to the Quran. Now, the Nation of Islam, their biggest holiday is Savior's Day, which celebrates the birth of what they would consider a prophet, their founder, Wallace Farhad Muhammad, who, sort of showed up in the 1930s, just kind of out of nowhere, claims to be born in Mecca. The U.S. government disagrees. Essentially, he created the Nation of Islam, succeeded by Elijah Muhammad, and then their most famous member did become one Malcolm X, book I read in high school. Now, the reason I'm making this is because I read this book in high school, and when I got to what the Nation of Islam actually believes, you'd be floored. It is batshit insane. Whereas Islam has your your standard religious stories, Muhammad, there's a horse or a donkey thing, and he flies to heaven, and there's chariots of fire. Okay, whatever. But the Nation of Islam, you get to the point where they actually talk about the creation of the white race, and you have to look up Jacobian genetics. So Jacob, kind of based off the biblical Jacob, right? Again, in Islam, I guess Jacob isn't a sacred figure. They go to, Esau. So they're not a big Jacob fan. So they took Jacob, right? The founding fathers of Judaism and Christianity, the one that kind of gets taken out of the Islamic branch, and they turned him into this great villain, this scientist Jacob. So 6,600 years ago, everyone was black. It's just the black race. And then this scientist used magnets to determine that basically there's black genes and brown genes. Essentially what he did is he created the white race by taking some of his followers and breeding in brownness and evilness. So the white race was created, and every race that is not black people was created by the evil scientist Jacob for his nefarious world domination schemes. And they learned trigonometry, it's like how to trick people. And that's how the white race sort of took power. Now, it gets so crazy. There's things like some white people wanted to rejoin the black race, so they tried to reverse this and become black, and they became gorillas. Not joking. This is what the Nation of Islam actually believes. And Louis Farrakhan, right? After Elijah Muhammad died, they tried to sort of reform and say, okay, we're going to take out some of the crazy stuff. We're going to try and be more like Islam. Louis Farrakhan, current leader, came in and said, no. We're going back to Crazy Town. Okay, so Crazy Town. They have the white race, and then one of the prophets. And again, so one of the prophets, Moses. So there's 300 white people. There's something like Jews or white people. They're all just being generally extremely mentally deficient because they're white and they are bred to be evil and cave dwellers and feces throwers. But they learn how to trick people. So now that's why white people dominate or something, whatever. It's crazy nonsense. Then Moses tried to take them out of the caves and civilize the white people. However, he failed. So he blew up 300 of his more evil followers with dynamite. Yes, dynamite, invented by Alfred Nobel of the Nobel Prize reign, way after the time of Moses. Moses used dynamite. This is the nonsense they believe. Also in the Quran, there's 3 passages which explicitly state that Muhammad was a white man, fair-skinned white man. So it just doesn't jive with Islamic teaching at all. So if you want to call this an Islamist terrorist attack, fair enough. But just remember, I don't think it's fair to associate the Nation of Islam with actual Islam. It has Islam in the name, and not a lot of people know about it. But it's just a fundamentally insane, crazy person, black nationalist movement. And to not associate, I think the best way to handle the Nation of Islam is to kind of take it and separate it from Islam, because it really isn't, and just really teach what they teach, because it is insane. It's literally the most insane thing I've ever read. I was laughing, if it wasn't so friggin' anti-Semitic, once he, like, Malcolm X was like, I kind of like the Jews. They were nice to me growing up. And then he meets the Elijah Muhammad Nation of Islam. And he's like, now I hate Jews. Great guy. So, the Nation of Islam, to summate. Yes, they might have some, characteristics with classical radicalism. They are viciously anti-Semitic. They are anti-Western civilization. They're kind of world domination-y for their own ethnic cult. But it deviates from Islam, right? Muhammad is white in standard Quran. Everyone was black here. Moses used dynamite. Black people bred white people, and then white people tried to become black people, and that's how we have gorillas. Like, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. I encourage you to look up what the Nation of Islam believes and then make fun of it. So whenever you see Democratic politicians like Barack Obama, I'm going to make that picture with him and Louis Farrakhan, the thumbnail here. So Barack Obama, Maxine Waters, Al Green, even Linda Sarsour, Tamika Mallory, when they praise the Nation of Islam founder Louis Farrakhan, take a look at what they actually believe, because it's hilarious and insane, and we need to make fun of these idiots.